Don't get me wrong, it hasn't been easy. In the beginning, when times got tough, Satan still tempted me to return to my old lifestyle. There were days that I second-guessed my decision and wondered if I'd made the right choice. But after thinking it through, reading my Bible, praying, talking to Chris and Karen, I always came right back to God's rock-solid truth. Today, my lifelong desire for a lesbian relationship is gone. I can't explain it except to say, it's just not there. That is nothing less than a miracle. If anyone would have told me I would go to a church like Bethel, believe every word of the Bible, give myself completely to Christ, and have no lesbian desires, I would have called them a liar. Pastor Steve, you asked me to contrast my life before with my life now. All I can say is before I gave my life to Christ, I lived in total fear. My self-esteem was non-existent. I had trouble trusting people. Before, I feared everybody but God. Now, I fear nothing and no one but Him. Although I often denied it during my lesbian years, down deep, I was never comfortable. This may sound strange, but that's the biggest thing. There was no comfort before. Now, there's a deep comfort I never knew. Hugging means something completely different to me now. Going all the way back to my childhood, my own dad said often when he tried to hug me, I just cringed. I never knew why. But now, Pastor Steve, when you see me, you almost always give me a big hug. And I hug you back without fear. I know it's my brother in Christ hugging me with total acceptance and love as your sister. Before, when another woman hugged me, I wondered if she was making a pass at me. Now, when another woman at church gives me a hug, I don't think of it sexually. I know it's sister to sister just because she cares. Today, I know the Bible does value women. Yes, the Bible reports events that took place in a male-dominated society. But when you examine the record, you can clearly see that all along, God was constantly moving His people away from sexism toward the love, the honor, and the respect He holds for women. Going all the way back to the first book of the Bible, God declares that He made both men and women in His own image. I do believe God is using me in my prayers. One of my former lesbian friends has trusted Christ and left the lifestyle. Another one is very close. Looking back, I can see that my discomfort, the insecurity, my lack of peace were all God, leading me the whole way. He even allowed me to hit rock bottom because when I had nowhere else to go, He had the perfect place waiting for me, my sister in Evansville, Indiana, and Bethel Temple. How certain am I of God's ability to change anyone? Because for the first time in my life, I am now open to a relationship with a godly Christian man. Wow. Is that amazing of God or what? Let's bow our heads in prayer.